Okay, good afternoon. I'm Gary Christensen, Mayor of the City of Malden. Strike that. Proud Mayor of the City of Malden. We are often caught up in all the things that life throws at us in this extremely busy and complicated world we live in. And as a result, we often fail to see the forest for the trees. Well, today, we finally get to do that for once, except we see bricks, but not for long. Not for long. They say the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra. Let me begin today with how I ended at the police station dedication back in October. And that is by thanking the real MVPs of this project, who not only gave it a little extra, but gave it their all. And that is our amazing staff. Typically, someone who is serving point on a project like this delegates many parts to different people, but there was one person involved with every facet from beginning to end. Please join me in giving a big round of applause for Ron Hogan. Where is he, Maria? Hiding again? There he is. Now, Ron would be the first to tell you that he couldn't do it alone, and there is someone else who has been working on this long before we even came into office. She was always determined and never gave up, which is another reason why we're here today. Let's give a round of applause to Malden Redevelopment Executive Director, Deb Burke. I also want to take a moment to recognize some of the dignitaries, in addition to Ron and Deb, that have helped make today possible. First, we're joined by State Senator Jason Lewis. State Representative Paul Brodeur. She's not an elected official, but she should be the way she worked with us, and that's Erica Cruda from MassWorks. Erica, thank you. And from the City Council, we have Debbie DiMaria. Representing Ward 1, Peg Crow. Ward 3, John Matheson. And from Ward 5, Barbara Murphy. Representing Ward 7, Neil Anderson. And representing Ward 8, J. Dean Sika. From the school committee, we have Mike Drummy. And representing Ward 2, Emmanuel Marsh. And with us today, we also have former mayors Richard Howard. Mayor Howard. And we also have Mayor Ed Lucy. Mayor, thank you for being here. As you can imagine, a lot of this was legal, so we want to recognize Doug McGarrah from Foley Hoag. Said he's never seen a deal like this before. And from the Mass Smart Growth Alliance, and someone that worked closely with Erica, I do want to recognize Larry Field. Where's Larry? Larry, thank you. And then from the Historical Commission, because no matter what we did, we had to get their approval at the end. And I want to say thank you to John Tramandozzi. John. And we also have Joe Cesario. Now, one of the key points in this long-standing goal becoming a reality is when the Baker administration took office. With the remaining terms being finalized, the newly seated administration could have done a 360 and went a different direction, but the Baker administration never did. And as a matter of fact, Governor Baker attended a Mass Mayor's meeting within his first month in office to tell us he was going to honor all the projects begun under the Patrick administration. Now, of course, it didn't hurt to have our first speaker, who knew all the mayors as the former Chelsea Town manager at that meeting. So please give a warm welcome to the State Secretary of Housing and Economic Development, Jay Ash.
both good. There we go. Awesome. All right, good, thank you.
Okay, I can leave. I got my selfie. Hey, it's great to be with everyone. Congratulations. Wow, this is unbelievable. I got to tell you, we in Chelsea would watch what's happening here over in Malden. We'd be very impressed. I said to the mayor more than one time, we would have burned down City Hall a long time ago to facilitate this, but you've done it the right way, Mayor. Congratulations on everything. I have a couple of people that I want to thank before I talk about the project. It's very important that I thank the legislators who are here and through them the rest of the legislature. Senator Lewis, Paul, my good friend Brodeur, the rep from here, other reps have given us the resources to go around to places like Malden and to bring to life that which you want to have happen. See, the governor says that we don't go into towns and cities and tell them what to do. What we do is we ask what they'd like to do, and then we try to figure out how to make that happen. And your legislative delegation has been on the forefront of providing us with the resources so that we can go to places like Malden and on occasion to Chelsea and drop off big checks. So I want to congratulate the legislature, and sometimes we take for granted the work that they do, but if not for the work that the legislature did last year on providing the Baker administration with $1 billion economic development bill, we wouldn't have been able to put into this project the last couple of $1 million that we did to push this project over the top. So to Senator, Representative, to your colleagues, and thank you very much for your continued advocacy, both on Beacon Hill on good public policy, but always back here in the district. So congratulations to both of you. So I'm not going to reference how much state money is in this project. That may be because I don't want anyone else to hear and ask for the same amount. But let's just say that this is historic in many ways, and we are happy to make a historic contribution to what is happening here. I just left Governor Baker. We had our Friday cabinet meeting. We were talking about this project and how other cities need to follow the example of Malden in figuring out how to support a downtown, how to support community growth by being bold. And when you look at the definition of bold, you look at what's right behind me here. The idea of tearing down a city hall, well, frankly, many people have thought about tearing down a city hall, but the idea of tearing down a city hall to create revitalization in a downtown and in a community is really bold, and I congratulate you all. I watched all the introductions, so I know that everybody in this audience had something to do with this. I congratulate all of you for not only having the vision, but then having the courage to make the vision come true. I go around the state and I talk to lots of people, and there's lots of people who talk the talk, but you all are, I'm not going to say walking the walk, it's really like knocking the knock here. You're going to knock this thing down. What's going to be left behind is going to be a symbol not only to Malden, not only to the region, but the entire country about how communities, a community can make a difference in revitalizing areas that are important. I spend a lot of time talking to people about downtown revitalization, and the thing that I wish most for downtowns is to find a way to bring market rate housing to the downtown, to bring more disposable income to a downtown, more people who want to shop local, who want to eat local, who want to spend their hard-earned dollars in a downtown and help to create a vibe that then attracts others in a region. You are in fact doing this here, and you're going to be very successful doing this here, because if you look around at the best downtowns in Massachusetts and around the country, it's these types of projects where market rate housing is being developed in the downtown that are making a difference. You already know that you have the benefit of the train station. You already know that you have so many opportunities here for people to shop and eat. Putting it all together and tying it all together is really important. I congratulate all of you for doing all of this. To the developer and those who are supporting the developer, I congratulate you. Sometimes we municipalities, I'm still a we. Everybody, Representative Donato making his way in the back here. Representative Donato, thank you. Representative Donato, recognizing your leadership in the House, would you like me to start my speech over again?
No, you can continue on. We'll have a private.
So having a developer, Sandy Silk and her company here, sticking with us as municipalities, we're sometimes tough to work with. What Sandy has called me aside to say is that the experience here in Malden has been terrific, and the reason why Sandy, her company, her investors continue to stick with this project was because the leadership in Malden was keeping them here and making it as easy as possible in a very complicated project to allow for this to happen. So Sandy and everyone associated with you, I congratulate you on what you've been able to accomplish here. This is really going to be an outstanding project. Excited to look at it. I want to talk about my staff, and then I'm going to jump into Mayor in Malden. So Eric has already been introduced. Jackie is here. Juan is here. Staff, Larry, I'm going to consider where's Larry. Larry is former staff. I bring the greetings of my good friend, my predecessor, Greg Bielecki. We were talking this week, and I mentioned I was coming out here, and he was very excited to see this as well. There have been a number of people that have been involved in putting this all together, and I'm very proud to work with a group of people who want to make a difference in communities and who find ways of helping communities that have a vision to make that vision realized. So to my entire staff, this is why you work long hours. This is why we do what we do, because we're able to come out to cities like Malden and make a difference. So congratulations to all of you. So now, to all of you, yes, we can give them a round of applause. Thank you, Mayor. To all of you elected and appointed here, I am really impressed with what you're able to accomplish here. Frankly, when I first heard about this plan, Mayor Howard had talked about moving a city hall at one time, and I think, Richie, I said once to you, what are you, crazy? When a lot of us heard about this, we all thought, yeah, you know, another great idea that'll never happen, but you stuck with it. You had the fights that you had to have, and those are good fights on the local level. It's great when people are engaged and people talk about how passionate they are about different plans and different perspectives on what to happen. You stayed engaged, you informed people, you found resources, you twisted arms, you did everything you needed to do in order to make this happen. And to my good friend Mayor Christensen, Gary, I'm just so impressed with how you've been able to pull this all through. And the great thing about Gary has been that every time he has called me, it has not been about Gary. It's been about Gary's vision, he's had plenty of times to ask for things for himself because he calls me all the time. But every time he calls me, it's about this project. It's about other things in Malden. It's about making Malden the place that you all want it to be. And frankly, I'm hoping to join you with. So, Mayor Christensen, you're doing something here that every other mayor, every other manager is in awe of, and I congratulate you for realizing your vision. Please know that we're proud to be part of this, pleased to be providing some resources, and hope that you fulfill your vision. If for no other reason, then you'll stop asking me for more money down the road. So, congratulations, everybody, and we look forward to the final product.
One more time for Secretary Ash. Should just leave him up here. Now, if you've been watching lately, there is not much the City Council and I agree on. But if we could only agree on one thing, I'm glad it was this extraordinary project. The Council has worked with us side by side on achieving this goal and stuck with us even when the going got tough. Now, to speak on behalf of the City Council is their President, Peg Crow.
Thank you, and good afternoon. Wow, did we ever really think this moment would come? But it is here, and everyone here has played a very important role in making this happen. But first, I would like ask my co-workers, the members of the Malden City Council, to come up here and join me. Because it's not a me that makes this happen, it's a we that made this happen. Like I said, it's a collective we. Everybody here, from the state, from the secretary, to the mayor, to everybody that is here today, really had a role in that, and we did this together. Whether you're a resident who has been longing to see this day, a city employee that is dedicated to making Malden the place we can be proud of, or you actively, painstakingly worked on making this a reality, we say thank you. Thank you for your commitment, thank you for your patience, thank you for your dedication. It is well worth the effort. Today I represent the Malden City Council, who believed in and shared in Mayor Christensen's vision for not only taking down this building, but opening up opportunities for Malden and its residents. Getting rid of this cold or hot, depending on what season it was or what floor you were on, leaky, drafty building, and replacing it with truly mixed use development that has connectivity will breathe fresh new air and life into the city and into the downtown. Another benefit is we no longer have to play that game of someone trying to come down Pleasant Street and you have to explain how to get from lower Pleasant Street to 55, 57 Pleasant Street and pray that they took that right on Washington Street, because if they didn't, they got to go all the way around and start again. But just like getting to Upper Pleasant Street from here, the road has not been easy. But we believe that the result will be a stronger, more vibrant Malden that has limitless possibilities. As the Secretary said, this is a historic day, and we are excited and encouraged by the partnership with Sandy Silk and Jefferson Apartment Group, and want to congratulate them for bringing it to this point, and we look forward to writing the next chapter in Malden's history. Thank you.
Exciting to look out at everybody here today, and I know all of you played a role, big or small, in getting us to this day. I believe we're celebrating the beginning of the future of Malden Center as we start to demolish the building behind us and around us. We've been very busy preparing the site for this day. The demolition is truly going to be the most visible evidence that this project is nearing a reality. Together with the city and the state, we've been creating a project that is unlike any other, with a mix of uses that could be a first anywhere. And it's definitely more complicated than most other projects as well. It's taken a long time to get here. Some of you have been working towards this moment a lot longer than the relatively short 3.5 years that I've been involved to get us to this point. But I believe that the benefits are just starting to come Malden's way. JAG is thrilled to be a part of the transformation of Malden Center. We're going to reopen Pleasant Street to pedestrian and vehicular traffic, making it more accessible to everyone, and reconnecting it with Commercial Street and the MBTA. When we're done, in 2+ years, the project will change the way both residents and visitors access Malden's commercial core. Although technically I think that's already happening due to the construction. We're just hopeful that when the construction is complete, people will actually use the sidewalks. When we're done, we will have jointly created more opportunity for existing and new businesses and employers in Malden Center. And we look forward to bringing you a reinvigorated and more diversified retail mix. There were many points during the development of this project that the comment was made because of the scale and the complexity that you can't eat an elephant all at once. This project is way bigger than even a baby elephant. There were lots of small bites made by a lot of people who spent a lot of time and effort being creative, collaborative, and persevering through the many challenges that a project like this one inherently has. In the development world, time is usually not our friend. But in this case, this project required a lot of patience and a lot of coordination in order to execute all of the things that needed to happen to get us to this moment. A new police station was designed and built and occupied. City Hall was relocated into temporary spaces that weren't even identified when we first started this project. Oh, and we needed to design the project. And we had just a few legal documents that we had to draft, negotiate, and actually execute. The best part of all that is that timing, oddly, I now describe it as a happy accident. We ended up making the project better for everyone. We were able to benefit from the expansion of the Housing Development Incentive Program to be used for projects larger than 50 units, as we are much larger at 320. And we were able to expand the project to include 184 Pleasant Street as well. I am very grateful for my team and for all of this team, the city, our consultants, NML, and the team at JAG. Everyone was patient and remained focused at the end goal of redeveloping this site. We got here to this day when we finally get to celebrate the demolition of what was and prepare for what is to come. On behalf of JAG, I want to thank the city, Secretary Ash, DHCD, and all of the elected officials that are here. And I also want to say a special thank you to the Malden City Councilors. Each and every one of you were willing to be creative in your thinking and in your support for this project, and I know it wasn't easy at times. It is hard to fathom the thousands of hours of meetings that have been logged by every person standing here in order to bring this project to this point. We wouldn't be here if the city and the Commonwealth weren't committed to making this project happen. For that, I am very grateful. JAG is grateful, and we are all proud to be part of a project that has truly set a new standard for public-private collaboration and creativity. I also want to acknowledge the team at Northwestern Mutual Life, who the mayor pointed out, who are our investment partners in this project. We would not be here today without their willingness to invest more than $100 million in Malden. Zachary May and Nick Yonke believe in Malden's future, and they are putting NML's money to work for Malden every day in support of that belief. I also want to give a huge thank you to our consultants. The design team at CVT, Henry Weinberg and Christopher Hill, have been working with me on this since before we put the RFP in. The design team at Copley Wolf also has been involved. There are representatives from Beals and Thomas who are here. Our legal counsel, Tom Callahan, who I saw earlier, who was involved with the permitting all the way through. And then last but certainly not least is the team who this project is now in their hands, is the team at Callahan Construction. All of these folks have worked and continue to work very, very hard to both design and deliver a project that will be a game changer for Malden, establishing a new gateway to Malden Center. And last but certainly not least, a shout out to my team at JAG. To Greg, you have always shared my belief that the complexity of this project was worth it, and that we could play a significant role in transforming Malden by doing what JAG does best, building a high-quality mixed-use project and bringing our A game to that effort. I also want to acknowledge my construction partner, Chris Burchard, who's working very hard every day now, overseeing the construction that is transforming this site. You'll see him here often. Where we are all standing right now is in the middle of where New Pleasant Street will be extended. In a little more than 2 years, where you're standing right now will be a vibrant, bustling entrance to Malden Center. Just take a look at the great renderings afterwards to get a sense of what's coming. I want to thank you all for your commitment and your support to this project. We wouldn't be here without each and every one of you. I look forward to seeing you at the grand opening. Thank you.
Once again, thank you everyone for your hard work, dedication, patience for helping making history here in the city of Malden. We will now proceed to the moment all of us have been waiting for, the beginning of the end, of what renowned columnist Steve Frecker of the former Malden Evening News called the beast that ate Pleasant Street.